So we're going to just take a quick look at the new Inline Drop Off Kit that forms part of the Edges range that's due to hit the shops mid to end of May. I've been very fortunate to have actually been involved in the testing of this product, stretching right back to this time last year, last April in fact, when I was given the first samples to have a play with, and I used them right through the spring and the summer last year for my stalking basically, because I like to use inline leads when I'm stalking close in the margin, a real heavy 4-ounce lead inside a solid bag, drop next to a bush or a set of reeds, and try and catch the fish at close quarters. Now, the problem with this sort of close quarter fishing up against snags is that your 4-ounce lead could cause you troubles with the fish getting snagged up. So I want to eject the lead, and previously with the Fox leads, with the soft insert, it's been a bit of a problem to sort that out. So what we've come up with at Fox is a system to convert a standard inline lead into a drop-off system should you wish. So let's just take a look at that in a bit of detail. The kit comprises of one main component, which is this insert, and it is basically your leader goes through the top and then comes out the side here. This leader in particular is the submerged lead-free and 30-pound. The venue that I tend to fish has a lead core ban, so I opt for this or fluorocarbon. And then at this end of the insert, you see it's got a little rubber overmold, and this is just to help it fit snugly into leads of different bores. Going down the leader, we have one of these new inline lead quick change drop-off swivels. And basically, if I just pop this off here, you'll see it's a standard swivel with a ring on, and then it has this little quick change clip underneath this tail rubber here, which allows me to use a rig with a loop on it, so I can change the rig quickly without having to cut and tie new rigs. So basically what I would do is, this is the original insert from my inline lead, and I've cut the fin tail off the back. I only want to keep this thick grommet, and this just easily slots over the swivel like so. I then take my inline lead minus the insert, this is a 4-ounce, and I take the grommet and I just place it back into the front of the lead how it would normally be. I then run my submerged leader around the outside of the lead, bring the insert down, give it a little moisten up there, and that just works into the back of the lead, pulls down tight. So as you can see here, the leader is running around the outside of the lead, through the insert, out the top. That will be going off to the main line and to the rod tip. The grommet's inside the lead this end. I've got my little quick change clip with the rig here. Plenty of movement there, so this is going to all be coiled up inside a rapid solid bag and lowered into position or flicked into position. I'll just talk about the hook link itself quickly. This is the new Reflex in the dark camo. Again, been very fortunate to have been involved with testing various different samples of this, along with the product development team at Fox, some of the other consultants, and Rob Hughes with his diving matching colours. It's a nice colour, it works well, nice and dark. This is generally for me going in a solid bag full of pellets, so the colour isn't so important. I just want it to be reliable, very good abrasion resistance, because I say I'm fishing up against snags, and so far so good with this, it hasn't let me down. I've got one of the new little hook link tungsten sinkers underneath here with a bit of tungsten putty wrapped round, and that's just to counterbalance my little milky toffee pop-up, which will just rise to the top of the pellets once the bag has dissolved. And I've just got a small section here of the new Transkhaki shrink tube over a size 8 Curo S4XS hook. Ultra sharp, ultra strong. Again, I'm fishing the snags or close to the snags. It's hit and hold, so I need every component to be reliable. So that's the hook link. Moving back to the lead, so it's in a solid bag. I've dropped it next to the feature that I want to fish. As I say, it's usually reed beds, lily pads, or overhanging tree. When I get the bite, I want this lead to be coming off very quickly. So the fish will straighten the hook link, it will take the weight of the lead, and it will bang, and it's off. The fish will then rise in the water to the surface, it will be disorientated. I've now got full control to steer it away from the snag into open water and play it safely. We'll just look back at what's happened there in a bit more detail, because obviously that's ejected very quickly, so you would struggle to pick up what's happened. So I'll just pop the lead back on. Bring the leader back round. So basically, once you've got the pickup, the first thing that will happen is the swivel will come out the front of the lead. That will then mean that the weight of the lead will turn down like so, and as the fish shakes, the lead will eject off the insert and it's gone. You're left with the insert and with the swivel. Sometimes the little rubber grommet will stay actually on the swivel, so you won't have to replace that, but next time you get a lead, obviously it's got the rubber insert in it anyway. And as I say, the lead's gone. You've used your 4 ounces to set the hook and give the fish a real problem when it's picked the rig up in terms of trying to eject it, but now it's been ejected straight away when the fish is hooked. And it vastly increases my chances, and it will vastly increase your chances of landing fish in weedy and snaggy conditions. If you want to increase the sort of amount of pressure that the fish or a snag needs to put on the lead for it to eject, the kit also comes with a tail rubber. I'll just pop this swivel back in, and I'll just pop the insert back into the back of the lead. You would just thread the tail rubber onto your leader just as you would normally do if you were fishing a tail rubber on a lead clip. The tail rubber can just sit down over the top of the insert, and what this does now is means that there's more resistance needed to pull this leader through here, and that just means that, you know, you're not going to necessarily drop the lead on the take. You may well drop the lead as it comes into contact with a snag or something. So just gives you the option of whether you want the amount of pressure that you want a fish or a snag to apply to drop the lead. It's just a handy addition that, like I say, I want to drop the lead on the take every time for the sort of fishing that I'm doing close in, because the cost of a lead isn't worth losing a fish. I'd rather lose the lead and land a fish than keep the lead and lose a fish. So that, I think, pretty much sums up the new inline drop-off kit as part of the Edges range.